we have two special events planned to gather together the fractal ecosystem to honor our progress so far and accelerate towards the future. And we've pioneered ways for communities to coordinate that are fair, fast, and fun.
Yeah, all the metadata becomes available there, and that allows me to stop the ORDAO backend services while keeping all the historical data available. I created scripts for preparing this metadata packages to be uploaded to IPFS. So I think this will be useful for future fractals, which end up upgrading our DAO software to new deployments.
The educational infrastructure, and we're at the Swarmy more about like a social infrastructure, having different town halls across the world, leading more in like the network creation and trying to establish like how do we network between different people and share these kinds of learnings and tools.
We're able to have the Discord bot get to the end of the voting process and properly organize who won what. And now the next step is to create the on-chain transaction that goes along with that so that we can reach consensus on-chain as well. So cool to be around the Zaal Fractal community and see what people have been cooking up. And then I've been a regular participant in the Optimism Fractals and the Eden Fractals.
And then today I did a presentation for Superchain ORDAO. So over the past 3 months, I've been coordinating a team of developers to build the Superchain interoperability functionality into the ORDAO software. Now we have an MVP of the Superchain interoperable version of smart contracts, and I gave a demo presentation to some venture capitalists and some people who had other projects and leaders in the Optimism Collective. And
Superchain ORDAO, infrastructure for scaling capital allocation across the superchain.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Eden Fractal. We're here for our 122nd event, our 3-year anniversary, and I have the pleasure to be here with Rosemary and Tadas and Will and Jorge and Zaal and also Evgeny, a longtime friend, and some new community members from the Cardano community, Newman and Tevo. So welcome everybody to the event, and welcome everybody who's watching. I hope you all have a great time. I'm going to give a presentation about Eden Fractal and kick us off. Then we're going to play the respect game, and then we'll have the Eden Town Hall afterwards. So if anybody wants to say a quick hello, then feel free, and I'll go into my presentation now.
Roll that beautiful Eden Fractal footage.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you, Will. So, as I said, we're here for our 3-year anniversary event, and we have two special events planned to gather together the fractal ecosystem to honor our progress so far and accelerate towards the future. We put out a message here. I put it out in Telegram different places, and we put it up in the Optimistics account. And it kind of gives an overview of what we've been up to lately. So 2 weeks ago, we launched Eden Fractal's historic Epoch 2, our 121st event, marking our transition to building on base and Ethereum. And we had an amazing respect game, and we're really thrilled to return to the core practice of fractal democracy. So thank you everybody so much for all your contributions over the years, and also for everybody who's new. Thank you for your interest and being here. And so, yeah, we're going to play the respect game after this brief presentation, and then we're going to be having a conversation at Eden Town Hall afterwards where everybody can share their thoughts and stories about fractal governance and hear from others in the community, so we can reflect on our journey and share our thoughts in general and plan out for the next steps as well. And yeah, there's some other nice kind words here too, but really expressing appreciation for everybody, because I'm deeply grateful for everybody who's contributed to fractal governance in these early stages, in these early years, and who's participated in the events and joined and so forth. And yeah, really appreciate you all being here. So hope everybody has a wonderful time. And I'm also going to give a brief introduction to Eden Fractal. So if you're not familiar yet, check out edenfractal.com. It's a community dedicated to optimizing collective decision making through collaborative research, development, education, gamification, and community engagement. The Eden community has been meeting since 2021, and we've pioneered ways for communities to coordinate that are fair, fast, and fun. We host bi-weekly events that bring together governance leaders and builders to explore better coordination systems from theory to practical implementation. You can join our events, watch our videos of each event, and explore the blog to learn more about practical consensus processes and how they can help your community organization thrive. We have this vision that all communities and organizations have the tools and methods to make the best possible decision-making, fair, fast, and fun, and we're doing that by implementing these fractal decision-making processes at society. If you're not familiar, fractal decision-making processes, it's kind of like how plans branch out in fractal patterns to maximize growth and resilience. These fractal governance processes help community to coordinate effectively at any scale, breaking large groups into smaller interactive groups where every voice matters. So learning from nature and helping people cooperate better. You can learn more at edenfractal.com in the blog article, where you can also join our events, check out all the videos, and check out the Optimistics Toolkit, a set of open source tools to play respect games and make decisions with fractal governance. And yeah, I invite everyone to join and learn more at edenfractal.com. I'm also going to give a little highlight and overview. Well, first off, you can check out on there, you can find a link to the Optimistics event calendar where you can register for Eden Fractal, as well as the upcoming Eden Town Hall and the Optimism Fractal and Town Hall, which we host on bi-weekly Thursdays alternate with Eden Fractal. I invite everyone to join and invite your friends. We love to meet new people, and you can register there for email reminders. You can watch all the videos from Eden Fractal, all 120 of them, on the videos tab up there, where you can see as we've been preparing for Epoch 1, conclusion, Epoch 2, and our planning and all the cool stuff we've been up to. Lots of educational resources where you can learn more about our progress, and these are all published on the Eden Creators YouTube channel, as well as Optimism Fractal and several other shows as well and events. We just actually published the Epoch 2 launch video where we played the Respect game for the first time this year at Eden Fractal, and the Eden Town Hall revival, which we brought back after a couple of years. And those were great events, so I encourage people to check them out. And on the blog, you can also check out the articles that reflect on Epoch 1 if you want to get a deep dive or an overview about all the cool things we did over the first 3 years, as well as the Epoch 2 overview article where you can learn more about what we're up to now and how you can participate and what are the benefits of participating and so forth. Announcement I'd like to make too, Tadas, who's the developer of ORDAO. So we just started using ORDAO as well as we deployed for Eden Fractal Epoch 2, and the first batch of respect tokens for Epoch 1 has been issued on base. Myself, Rosemary, Tadas, and Jorge have successfully migrated our tokens from EOS/Volta to base, and you can see the tokens now on various places such as OpenSea and Block Explorers, and you can now vote with them too. You see it's on OpenSea, for example, here. And for anybody who participated in Epoch 1 and would like to claim their respect on base, we have a video, and Tadas made an article too, which I believe is in the video description here. So I encourage everybody to do so you can get involved with the governance processes, the executive governance processes of Eden Fractal, and you can claim it on the application, the ORDAO application for Eden Fractal, as well as the Optimism Fractal one, which is serving as an oracle. You can see an overview of how the app works here and some recently approved proposals that Tadas had made and improved. And for anyone who's not familiar with ORDAO, I recommend you check out optimistics.io/ORDAO, where you can learn about this tool that we're using here. There's also a great video which explains how it works and so forth right near the top of it. So but with that, thanks everybody for listening to the presentation. Hope you all enjoyed and hope you'll have fun at the event. We're going to get on with the festivities for the 3-year anniversary. I see also Tadas shared the link. Thanks Tadas for sharing the link to of-base.fraps.xyz/ef/claim, where you can claim. So we're going to play the respect game, but for anybody who can stick around afterwards, we will be talking for another hour, starting at 18 UTC. So we'll play their second for 45 minutes, and then we'll meet back here in the community room for Eden Town Hall, where we'll have open discussions for celebrating the anniversary. I think most people probably know how the respect game works here, but just in case you don't, I mean, one, feel free to ask any questions to others, but we have an article with like a brief overview. So we're going to go into randomized breakout groups of up to 6 people, and then each participant is going to share up to 4 minutes, or each participant is going to speak for up to about 4 minutes. And you can feel free to introduce yourself, and you can also share your work. What we're doing here is we're ranking contributions to Eden Fractal and to the Fractal ecosystem in general. So if there's anything that you've done to contribute to fractals, whether it be joining an event or building a tool or telling a friend about it or researching or whatever, you can share that, as well as just feel free to just introduce yourself and share your interests in general. And then after everybody goes, then we're each going to rank each other's contributions, try to rank who did the most to help the fractal ecosystem, who did the second most, who did the third most, the fourth most, and so forth. And if we can reach 2/3 consensus in each breakout group, then the group will all receive respect tokens, with people who get the higher levels getting more respect tokens. So you can learn more on this article about the respect game at Eden Fractal. And yeah, also feel free to share your screen too, or share any links during the respect game and ask any questions too. So with that, I hope that everybody that's clear for everybody, and I will stop my screen share. All right, breakout rooms are started. Everybody have a great time.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Agenda went so fast, so I was like, how big was the scope of contributions? Like, what's the topic?
I'm sorry, I went too fast. Could you repeat what you said there? What was the last thing or question that you said? And that how big is the scope of contributions?
Yes.
So yeah, it's also still like not as specific as it could be. And that's something we're thinking about maybe doing, using our consensus process to make it more specific. But generally, it's what you do to contribute to Eden Fractal, which broadly the mission of Eden Fractal is to implement these fractal decision-making processes throughout society. And also generally to help, and our vision is to help all community organizations have the tools and methods to make the best decisions possible. So anything you've done that is related to fractal governance, perhaps if you've spoken with Jorge about it or learned or anything like that, would be a core contribution, as well as any contributions you made to helping people make better decisions in general. But also feel free, I mean, just joining here is a contribution as well. And I know that you're relatively new to fractal governance. So if you haven't contributed all that much to fractal governance yet, that's totally okay. And you can just feel free to just share your interests and perhaps what you're doing in Cardano and stuff like that as well. Does that make sense and sound good?
Yeah, we can see, and I guess yes, I did get the scope now and like at the context of what I'm most impactful to share. By the way, I'm also a bit under a headache, so maybe I'm slow to today. Yeah.
Okay, well, no problem. I hope that you feel better soon. If anybody else wants to add there, maybe you can explain in a different way that might be helpful. And feel free to ask questions along the way, Tevo, as well. And then, yeah, if anybody wants, I see Tadas is unmuted, so if you want to share something, Tadas, feel free. Or if anybody wants to go first for the respect game, then feel free as well.
Yeah, I'd like to add that generally it's uh, about contributions since the last meeting, so over last 2 weeks. So in terms of time, that would be the scope, although we are not very strict on that requirement. So people sometimes share generally what we are working on over months or even longer time, especially new people. They sometimes introduce themselves and their projects. So
Yeah. Thanks for adding that, Tadas. That's a key detail. All right. It looks like Tevo's deep in thought. If you have any other questions, then feel free to ask, like I said. And if anyone wants to go first, then feel free.
I can go first since I'm unmuted.
Okay, cool.
So I will share a list of my contributions in the chat. Yeah, so maybe short intro for Tevo. So I've been long time contributor to Eden Fractal and Optimism Fractal, and I created I came up with ORDAO project. I'm main developer behind ORDAO project, which basically it implements the uh, on-chain part of a fractal for Eden Fractal as well as Optimism Fractal. Yeah, so one of my contributions from these last 2 weeks was sunsetting our DAO office hours deployment. So our DAO office hours were a series of meetings I held when I just started developing our DAO, where I introduced our DAO, and yeah, it's all recorded. And yeah, in those meetings we used test deployment, even though it was on Optimism mainnet, but we tested our DAO software on Optimism mainnet, and yeah, it became like a first fractal. First fractal that first ORDAO deploy that used ORDAO. Yeah, and then later we launched ORDAO Fractal, which bootstrap security on the respect distributed during these ORDAO office hours events. And so with that, ORDAO office hours deployment is not needed anymore. So yeah, the backend service, which is used to serve token metadata, respect token metadata, and proposal metadata for our DAO, for DAO is not needed for our DAO office hours deployment anymore. Therefore, it makes sense to go through a process to how I call it, sunset it. Yeah, and the way I do this, I upload all the metadata to IPFS, and yeah, all the metadata becomes available there, and yeah, that allows me to stop the ORDAO backend services without disabling all the historical data, without while keeping all the historical data available. Yeah, so that I've been working on this for DAO office hours, and I created scripts for uploading or rather for preparing this preparing this metadata packages to be uploaded to IPFS. So I think this will be useful for future fractals, which end up upgrading our DAO software to new deployments. Yeah, then this is one long explanation of single contribution, which wasn't that much work actually, but other contributions are I gave feedback on 2 of his latest research articles that relate to fractal governance and next steps. Then I participated at Optimism Fractal meeting last Thursday. I tried to reproduce an issue with Fractalgram, which I experienced and Rosemary experienced in the last 2 meetings, where it required to refresh to update the status. I created a proposal confirming Optimism Fractal's role as an oracle to help the Eden Fractal claiming process on base. And this proposal got passed, and I made some updates to ORAC document, which is a core. ORAC is optimistic respect-based executive contract, which is the core component of our DAO. And I participated in a series of meetings where I have supporting role in Superchain interop incubator, and yes, what else? It also made some bunch of administrative tasks for our DAO deployments that now anyone can do through the UI. So that's all. So sorry for going over time.
All good. Thank you for the excellent work, Tadas. Much appreciated. If you'd like
At least
to,
you did something this week, Tadas.
quite a bit. If you'd like to pick somebody to go next, Tadas.
Jorge, do you want to go?
Yeah, my pleasure. So I've been, as you guys know, close to the Cardano community recently, and I've been pushing there the idea of implementing a version of fractal democracy. So I got involved with this set of communities. One of them is called Odin, and they are very focused on sociocracy. And they are actually running a summer of collaboration in which hopefully by the last week of July, we will have a 1 or 2 weeks period to design and implement the validators, which is the term they use at the Cardano ecosystem for smart contracts that support fractal democracy there. And in order to do that, I invited pretty much everyone there. And thankfully, Tevo today and Newman came to this meeting. Tevo is in this room and Newman is in the other one. The other community is called Gimbalabs. They are focused on education and decentralized education. They are also based on the Cardano ecosystem, and they are very, very interested also in this fractal process. So yeah, hopefully this will be of great benefit for everyone involved and in general for future generations. So that's for my part, and I'll give the word to Dan, who is next in my screen.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you, Jorge. Thanks once again for inviting Tevo and Newman and all your great work. If you did want to share anything else, you still have a couple minutes left. Is there anything else you'd like to share, or should I go ahead?
No, I think that's my main contribution for this week.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'll just open up first because I've spoken a lot too. If Zaal or Tevo would like to go before me, then feel free. You're welcome to. Otherwise, I can go.
Yeah, I can maybe follow George. That's a good entryway of describing, but in my mind, I had like something that it because relating what I assume Eden Fractal is trying to do is when I became active in like these kinds of meetings and online stuff was about 2021 when the Cardano launched Project Catalyst, which mission was to basically how do we achieve the highest potential of human collaboration. And it started with an idea to have a treasury to distribute funds basically on human needs, and the scope was Cardano. But Cardano, for us and many people at that time who knew about it, was like a global governance. So like how do we all around the world use the financial operating system that is blockchain basically. Um, so from there met like a lot of many members who actually still exist, and what George mentioned, like Gimbalabs and Odin. And at the beginning, I guess I would say that the Odin span off from different, like to me, it's all like a swarm network where like very key individuals who are at the beginning get together and uh, come up with how do we collaborate, how do we make it easy, and then the Gimbalabs took more of, I see, like the educational infrastructure, and we're at the Swarmy more about like a social infrastructure, having different town halls across the world, different languages, and like targeting things that we knew we are not able to handle, but we need leaders in these different like sections or areas. And yeah, and then now yes, over time, I guess like the Odin has been one of like it's leading more in like the network creation and trying to establish like how do we network between different people and share these kinds of learnings and tools and and I somewhat see because that's George did find us somehow and he's sharing their tools and like and I also like I think this is great stuff because I'm also now on other side, which I'm like my daily activities that goes into like the weekly stuff is working in ambassador program where I'm like similar like Tadas mentioned probably like having work streams, consistent like workshops where I help run teams and do it in a way where I hand off as many tasks as I can and we come up like together how what are the tasks even to maintain in a larger kind of ecosystem. So it's somewhat the DAO again with the treasury that has like a push out, like a monthly like a payment system. But it's more the way we have like set it up is emergent strategies and sociocracy. But I do see we are missing this kind of basically respect that you are mentioning. Like it is coming up as we are as my whole work is also just like a treasury management and building tools to recognize value, where most of the value is now recognized in tools like GitHub, like a Kanban boards, and we aggregate and integrate, then label is what kind of skills they are used and what kind of type of work it is. And then also like yeah, making bundle transactions on Cardano to have it on chain as a metadata. So if somebody is interested in data, we have years of stuff that you only have to learn like querying blockchain and you get like this high level information, which is for me was important because I want to kind of figure out how do you like decentralized project management and having like this raw like hourly based data or contribution data. It gives like insight to the person who is doing the work, like how easy like onboarding, so where he's going, what his capabilities are, and yeah, now on top of that, using all of this agenting stuff again, it's like world is like quite a big imagination that like you can generate proposals and your like candidacy documents or the CVs based on the stuff you're doing daily, where usually takes like hours or yeah, people even don't know what skills they have if they're like just coming in and out from different communities. But now we have this new tech where they can bring their skills with them. But yeah, I think like encoding respect also is a great stuff, and we have done few experiments and but not quite has been working. But that's why I'm also like now connecting with this kind of network to see if there is tools or something that we can try and that gets this bootstrapped more, that we have multiple layers, both financial and respect and skill layers and course and like the credential stuff. And yeah, make this governance stuff stronger because we also do governance and decision making a lot. But yeah, but I guess that's the time.
All right. Fascinating. Thank you for sharing, Tevo. Yeah, really looking forward to learning more about how you've been thinking about it. And yeah, great thoughts overall and contributions. So thank you. And if you'd like to pick somebody to go next, if you want to pick Zaal, you can go, or if you want to pick me, then I can go too.
Mm, let's take Zaal and then I guess you can wrap it up.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, for sure. I can rock it out. You guys can hear me lower down the windows. Traveling out here. I've been working a bunch on Zaal Fractal. We actually had a successful week this week as a test with our Fractal Discord bot. And I actually shared a couple photos into the Telegram chat if you want to share. If someone wants to share it on their screen, Dan, if you want to do that for me, that'd be amazing.
Sure, I'll pull it up.
And that is what we've been mostly working on. So we had our 55th Zaal Fractal this week, and were able to have the Discord bot get to the end of the voting process and properly um, organize who won what. And now the next step is to create the on-chain transaction that goes along with that so that we can reach consensus on-chain as well. So that's gonna be my next step and what I integrate in next. And one of the other things we're working on with um, one of our partners is um, uh, they're working on a project called EM3. So we've been making videos to help support them, which is EM3 is essentially, or M3, it's essentially a music player which takes all of the music NFTs from a bunch of different chains that are EVM right now, and with the goal of having EVM adjacent chains as well included, and opportunity to play all of those music NFTs in one place. So I was able to test out the Alexa integration today, which was really cool. So now we've been able to play some of our music NFTs on the Alexa. And I just think this is like a new level of onboarding that is a potential, just, like fun gimmick that's out there, but being able to be like, okay, this is a song that, you can't play anywhere on Spotify or this or that, but it's like, you can still get it on Alexa because you set it up this way. So it's cool to be around the Zaal Fractal community and see what people have been cooking up. And then I've been a regular participant in the Optimism Fractals and the Eden Fractals, even though I missed the last Optimism Fractal, but I could pop it in for a little bit for that town hall. But been working on this Discord bot, and that's my big goal and big contribution towards the Fractal ecosystem for the last couple weeks.
All right, excellent. Thanks, all. I'm showing it. I showed my Telegram, but I don't know if I was able to like zoom in on the images. So I decided to pull up in a browser and just copied and pasted the screenshot you shared there. It looks really cool. So I have that up on the screen now. And you said next step is adding on-chain results. So that's fascinating. I also forgot to put up a timer too. So I think you spoke for less than 4 minutes. So if you wanted to add anything else, then feel free. But otherwise, thanks for the awesome contributions and really excited to see all you're doing with the Zao fractal.
Yeah, we're just working really hard on Wayboards right now, which is technically on Soul, which I can share about because it's part of the Zaal. But that's honestly where a lot of our energy is right now in the Zaal, other than the Zaal Fractal, in trying to push our music battles. So it's been a blessing to have the opportunity to build, and our goal now with that is to build it so that we can get a Farcaster mini app going, because Farcaster now is integrated with Solana, which is pretty cool. And to be able to get that integration will be awesome. And then the step after that is to integrate it just natively with base, so you can spend base and participate in the battles as well.
What does these levels mean?
So level 6 is the highest contributor. Essentially, level 6 meaning the person who's contributed the most to the Zaal. So for the Zaal, we're all about independent creators, whether you're an artist, an entrepreneur, or developer. And at the Zaal, we're essentially letting people share anything that supports the vision of supporting artists and technology. So that can be individuals' own contributions. That can be collaborations with other individuals. That can be anything that's innovation. So anything that's, doing something, whether that's artistically or technologically in a new way that no one else is doing, or onboarding, whether that's in crypto as a general thing, on-chain music, or the Zaal as a whole. So we have our weekly fractals on Mondays, and all inspired from when I joined the Eden Fractal group, however many meetings ago.
Thanks for explaining, Zaal, and it's been a pleasure all the way along. I've been trying to share my screen as you go along to help guide you. I did notice that it says no upcoming events on your calendar. You may want to update that, because I believe it still is next Monday is the next event, unless I'm mistaken. But otherwise, hopefully that also answered your question at Tevo as well. And that's the same way it'll work right now too. It might be a bit confusing saying level 6 is most. Sometimes people get confused by that, but basically that's the way that we play the respect game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've had so many times, Dan, that people have asked me questions about that I might just change it. But I don't know what to change it to, because I like keeping the consistency with Optimism Fractal. So maybe that's a conversation for the next Optimism Town Hall, or even an Eden Fractal Town Hall. But definitely a potential topic for conversation.
I agree. Yeah, that's something I've been thinking about for a while. And Jorge, you have thoughts on this too, or you want to share?
Yeah. So, how many attendees is the Zaal Fractal having currently?
How many what?
Attendees,
Oh, 10.
participants?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're having anywhere from 6 to 15 in the last, I don't know, 6 to 7 weeks. It depends on the kind of week. I haven't been putting a lot of push to marketing it. So it's just kind of the people who come weekly. But yeah, 6 to 15 with around 50 active total participants, and then a lot more in the total DAO. But that's just because we have illiquid sold on tokens, so we've given them out for a lot of just different participation things as well.
So your respect token is currently non-transferable, correct?
Correct, just like the Optimism Fractal respect token.
And is it based also on Base, or in which blockchain?
It's right now on Optimism, but we're probably going to be switching over to Avalanche for different reasons. But that's like a long-term approach thing. So we're going to be on Optimism for quite some time. But we're building some decentralized applications on Avalanche. So there's a time and a place where we might just go to multiple chains, because, it's soulbound and illiquid. So in the end of the day, it depends on what the use case is for the token. So right now, as a governance token, it's all about building new projects for the Zaal and using the Zaal community as a incubator. And after that, we'll see where it goes. And as we get more Web3 individuals involved that are more excited about governance as opposed to just creators, it becomes a whole different paradigm. But yeah, we're based very similarly to the Optimism Fractal Respect token.
Okay, are you running the Fractal? Are you organizing the events and being host, or are you just being an attendee?
Yeah. I'm the founder of the Zaal. I run events, but I have had a couple three or four different leaders of different rooms, because if you have more than six people, you need other individuals supporting. So one of the things I've tried to create was a way for people that are just on mobile or have been a part of the Zaal Fractal for a while, and so that they can just go into the Discord, because we use Discord for our meeting as opposed to Zoom, and just use a command, because the way Fractogram works, need someone that's on a computer and who has previous experience. So we've tried to remove that friction point by just adding it all into Discord and adding it into a command, and that's kind of like what my contribution was this week.
Yep.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Zaal, for all the explanations, and thank you, Jorge, for all the questions. We probably should start moving on where I go so we can reach consensus in time. I also want to just let everyone know that I just shared some links in the chat to see more about what Zaal is doing. And also, one more thing I'll bring up on the screen too while I'm at it. I listened to this podcast with Zaal recently. That he goes over a lot of the ideas and things he's been doing at the Zaal Fractal in more detail. Token for your thoughts. Whereas Zaal joined a couple months ago. So he also has a podcast he's been hosting too. So there's lots of media where you can learn more. I know Patrick also hosted a podcast with him a while ago too. All right. And with that, I suppose I'll share my contributions so we can keep moving along. Also, Tadas, by the way, if you want to create the Fractogram group, so whereas Zal created the Telegram bot in Discord, Tadas 2 years ago or so, he created the Telegram bot in Telegram or Telegram, like a client Telegram web app. So that's where we'll be reaching consensus here today. But yeah, I'm excited to try this Discord one too. So if you want to get that started, Tadas, and share a link, then I would appreciate that. All right, and now I am going to. Oh, and by the way, Zal, I agree that we should. It would be good to discuss changing the scoring. I've been thinking for a while, just like first place, second place would probably be simpler rather than level six. As Jorge and Tadas would remember, that was like a Genesis Fractal discussion that we had a while ago about the levels, but we don't currently do it like that. So, I think probably switching to that kind of first place, second place would be simpler and better. But anyway, looking forward to that discussion, and now I'll share my contributions. So I am Dan Singjoy. You can learn more about me at dansingjoy.com. I'm founder of Eden Fractal and several other communities and initiatives. I put out this promotion on this kind of announcement for Eden Fractal's 3-year anniversary on several different channels and spread the word around, invite everybody, and made a nice thoughtful message here to celebrate the moment. I hosted the first Eden Town Hall in quite a while. Last week, right after the Eden Fractal event. You can check out the Eden Cares YouTube channel for more details about that. And we had a great event. So thanks, Jorge, for all the discussions, and thanks everybody for the discussions. I also hosted the Optimism Fractal. I think it was actually the 63rd or 64th event that I hosted, but I pulled up the wrong video. And for some reason it's cut off. But yeah, I hosted this event too, where we played the respect game to measure contributions to optimism and so forth. And then I also made a proposal. So for town hall events, we play a game called Cagendas, which is short for community agendas, where we will basically discuss different things depending on how many votes it gets with respect votes. So it's a democratic way to choose topics. And so I made a topic proposal here to implement a minimum threshold for Cagendas and update the rules of it so that we only have to host events when there's enough votes. And I provided like a thorough overview of the rationale, implementation details, and how this benefits both the Optimism Fractal community and the Optimism Collective, which the Optimism Fractal community is serving. So there's quite a few details because I want to make sure to do it well. This proposal passed, so that's one thing that I did. And I also shared this in the Optimism Governance Forum too, with a bit more details here for people who are interested in the Optimism Collective. For some reason I have this up. Oh, I think it's because I edited some videos. I don't know exactly when I did this. I'm pretty sure I did it in the past 2 weeks, but I had just put together these nice thumbnails for the ORDAO fractal events that Tadas has been hosting. And I'd also, for each of the newest videos, I put together some nice timestamps and descriptions and so forth to help people understand the context of the episodes better. And then I also updated the ORDAO article as well. So I kind of just made some changes to make it flow better. And then I added the ORDAO Fractal app video. I also updated the thumbnail for that one, where we go over how the app works. And then today I did a presentation for Superchain ORDAO. So over the past 3 months, I've been coordinating a team of developers to build the Superchain interoperability functionality into the ORDAO software. And so that program actually just concluded this morning with the last event. So now we have an MVP of the Superchain interoperable version of smart contracts, and I gave a demo presentation to some venture capitalists and some people who had other projects and leaders in the Optimism Collective and from Base and other big networks that are part of the Optimism Superchain. So this presentation, I can't show the whole thing here because I don't have enough time, but I made it quite nice, I think. I think you can hear it. Can you hear it?
Superchain ORDAO, infrastructure for scaling capital allocation across the superchain. I'm speaking on behalf of the Optimism Fractal team, composed of myself, Jacob, Tadas, and Howard. You can see our roles on the screen. Optimism Fractal is a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the superchain. We've been operating since 2023, and you can learn more at optimismfractal.com. The problem that ORDAO solves is that capital allocation fails to scale. Whether it's Optimism funding missions, VCs funding investments, Ethereum evaluating dependencies, or any organization allocating resources, the problem is the same. Current evaluation systems fail to scale as ecosystems grow. Small groups become bottlenecks, decisions lack community input, and valuable contributions go unrecognized. This manifests in fewer builders contributing, weaker communities, and missed opportunities for value creation. The solution is decentralized value recognition through fractal coordination.
So you get the idea. It goes on more detail, and so I try to make a really brief summary that provides a high-level overview of ORDAO as well as how it connects to fractal democracy, respect games, respect tokens, and took some screenshots of the applications and showed some of the progress of communities pioneering these products and so forth. So I can share a link to where people can learn more, and you can also find this at optimistics.io/ORDAO. So I did that, and that is most of it. I'm at 4 minutes now. I've also been working on a ecosystem development plan as well. And I'll share more details about that in the future. Thank you all, and hope you all enjoyed. And if anybody has any questions for each other, then feel free. We only have about 10 minutes to reach consensus till the top of the hour. So if you have any questions, then try to keep it relatively brief and focused on helping you reach consensus or helping you better understand. So what we'll do now, Tevo, is we'll rank level 6 or first place, if we call it that in the future, to determine who did the most to help fractals and contribute to fractal decision-making processes based upon their presentation. And then after that, I think maybe Tadas already shared the Telegram group. Also, timestamps on YouTube video enable slices. All right, I'll read this in a moment. Thanks for the comment there. And first, I'll also just join this Telegram group because you guys might have already joined it. Okay, so it looks like only me and Tadas are there. So if Tevo and Jorge, you could join the Telegram group. Then get if you have a Ethereum address, then momentarily once you join the Telegram, Tadas will put out a prompt asking you to copy and paste your Ethereum address as a response to the message. And in the meantime, I'll also get mine and then read Tevo's comment there.
I don't really use Telegram that much, so I click the link. It says join the group, but it says sorry, this group is not accessible.
Well, I see Tadas is confused, and so am I right now. Do you have any idea? Do you have a Telegram app, Tevo, or are you logged in?
Yes, I have the app, and now it actually opened the message option too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think actually, come to think of it, I've had that happen to me a couple of times. I just clicked it again, and then it worked.
And where do I put the base address?
Wait for one moment, and then Tadas will put out a comment. It'll be a prompt saying like, please respond to this.
Wait a second. I don't see you in the group yet.
Oh yeah, I don't either actually. I see me boring Tadas.
Okay, so I mean the Eden Fractal general channel, I guess.
Oh no, so that's the actual Eden Fractal Telegram group, which I shared above. But below, Tadas shared a link. I think he shared it twice actually.
Okay.
Yeah, in the Zoom.
Yeah. Okay.
I see you now.
Okay.
And actually, we are missing Zaal. He it seems that he's not even in this meeting anymore.
Yeah, and there comes Zaal. I guess he heard you. He's joining back. It seems like maybe he's on the go and he's been having some internet issues or something, I guess. I know he dropped out before as well. Thanks also, Tevo, for the note about the timestamps as well. I'll take a screenshot of that and review to make sure to see if the timestamps are working or not. I wasn't aware of that potential issue.
Yeah. I think figured that out also a few months ago because I'm also like uploading town hall videos or stuff like that. And I'm like, why my timestamp not working? Because like there has been a complaint that there is no point of a video if there are no timestamps because some don't want to start looking a video if they can skip the irrelevant things that they already know. And in town halls, there is often this like introductions and sometimes you onboard in middle and you have like this tangent discussion, which some people have heard several times before because they know why they're here.
Mm-hmm.
But town halls are these onboarding places, so the information does get repetitive for veterans.
Yep, I agree. I posted a few town halls myself, so I empathize with that. And yeah, I'd be curious too if you want to share any links to your town hall videos. I remember seeing Jorge shared one that he joined at some point, but he didn't share the actual link. So if you have any you want to share, I'd be happy to listen to it sometime. And also, I see Tadas has now given the prompt out, so we can now all respond with our Ethereum addresses to Tadas's message. And I'll get mine again.
Yeah, so you need to respond to the message as a reply with your Ethereum address where you want to receive your respect for participating in this respect game. You will receive it on base. So if you have base address, you can use that but it can be any Ethereum address. Like if you have MetaMask or some other Ethereum wallet, you can simply use address from there because all EVM networks have the same addresses.
Yep. I see we're just missing Tevo. So if you could please get your Ethereum address if you have it available and respond to the message as soon as you can, that'd be appreciated. And thanks also for sharing the links to the YouTube channels as well. I'll open these up and check them out later. Ooh, Singularity Net. I know about that.
Okay, thanks, Tevo. You can start voting on level 6. Yeah, so level 6 is who contributed the most out of all the presentations here we just did.
Okay. Yes, everybody please vote. And we also should try to reach consensus in the next 5 minutes if possible.
Yeah, I'm voting for Zaal because we really need a good fractalgram map, and the kind which does not require manual administration or knowledge, like the current fractalgram or yeah.
I also voted for Zaal for a similar reason. I think that makes it much more usable to be able to play in Discord, but also that Zaal consistently hosts the events too for Zaal Fractal, and he does a great job. I joined the anniversary event for Zaal Fractal a couple weeks ago, and it was really cool. He's doing an awesome job of building community and helping educate people about fractals. So I think the combination of those things is why I voted for Zaal. So I see that it looks like Zaal has 3 votes and Tadas has 2 votes right now. So we need to come to 4 to 5 consensus in order for us to reach consensus and earn respect and move to the next round. So if anybody else would like to switch their vote or to advocate either way or share their thoughts, then you can now do so to help us reach consensus.
Yeah, and also he like whenever someone like finishes something, I would I also vote for them. So Zaal already tested, as he said, his bot in a community meeting. So it's yeah, I think he's worthy of level 6.
Okay. Well, right now, Zaal and Tevo are still voting for Tadas. So if either you want to switch your vote and go with Tadas's, if Tadas is
How do
convinced
you
you,
switch your vote? I have option to view results.
yeah, if you're on a computer, you can right click and then click retract. You can right click and click retract vote, or if it's mobile, then you can hold down on it.
Ah, okay.
Okay, and it looks like we have consensus on Zaal. So Zaal gets level 6, aka first place. And now we'll vote for level 5. Who do you think did the second most?
Bravo, 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 mi amigo Zaal. Bravo, bravo, bravo.
All right. All right, and it looks like we have consensus on Tadas for level 5. And we can move on to level 4. Bravo Tadas. And thanks for the song, by the way, Jorge. That was a wonderful baritone, or I'll call it baritone. I don't know all the voice names. Okay, and there's 2 votes for Jorge and 3 votes for myself. Would anybody like to advocate either way?
Yeah, I'm voting for Dan because he is making some important research which is inspiring a lot of ideas regarding potential growth for fractals for me and I think for others. And he also prepared a presentation where he and led our whole project in Superchain Incubator. And again, the Superchain Incubator just finished, so another finished deliverable.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Tadas. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I also voted for Dan because the sheer amount of time and dedication he gives to these initiatives is amazing. And also the presentation with venture capitalists uh, maybe may get us some financing and funding for all the fractals in general. So yeah, all my support goes for him.
Thanks, Jorge. Yeah, hopefully, I have faith and confidence and excitement that there will be more funding for the fractal ecosystem soon. And I think the video came out pretty good, so hopefully make a good impression on the capitalists, and we'll be able to raise some funding. I did vote for you in level 3 because I think that, or I voted for you for level 4 or wherever I got it. I think that you're doing an awesome job in raising awareness for fractals in general, and really appreciate you inviting Tevo and Newman and all the work you've been doing. So it looks like you have consensus on level 2 then. Hey, Rosemary. Hey, Evgeny. Hey. We're just finishing up our respect game here. Sorry for the delay. Hope you enjoyed your respect game. And actually, I think we did just finish it. So we have consensus on Jorge at level 2. Or actually, yeah, we had 6 of us.
We had 5.
Oh, okay. So actually, but
We're room 2, right?
yeah, for some reason it skipped level 4. So we have you at level 5 and then me at level 3 and then Jorge level 2. But I should be level 4 and then Jorge should be level 3 and Tivo should be level 2. I don't know what happened there. But it looks like in the consensus results that you submit at the end that we can just click there and it'll be
Yeah,
fine.
no, but it's wrong, so please don't submit.
Okay.
Where is level 4?
I don't know. I guess the
I
practice
think we
club decided
voted now,
that we don't need level 4 anymore.
but we voted for. Okay, so maybe I missed it, skipped it when I created it. Uh, Yeah, so actually what was level 3, it was supposed to be level 4.
You just skipped
People.
it. Tadas decided to be the dictator of
Sorry,
fractals and change up the rules on his own. We don't need level 4 anymore.
sorry, that's my mistake. So this wouldn't happen if bot did this.
The Eden downhole is different Zoom link, or
No, it's same Zoom link, so we'll just stay in this Zoom room and we'll start it momentarily. We're a few minutes past due right now, but we'll start it in next couple minutes after we resolve this. Also, we can keep it casual if anyone wants to share any reflections on their respect game before we formally start the town hall. Joss, are you gonna take care of that, or do you want any help?
Yeah, I will take care of that. So for people who were in our room, please wait for the consensus results message. You will see a link there where you can submit the results on chain.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you to Das for taking care of that. And yeah, welcome back, Evgeny and Rosemarie. And also, I saw Sebastian was here and he's been popping in. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed your respect game. I guess that was maybe one of your first respect games in a while, Evgeny. So I'd be curious to hear how it went, or also Tevo, if you have any impressions on your first respect game. And hopefully Newman enjoyed and Will enjoyed the respect game too. So Rosemary or Evgeny or anybody else here, if you want to share any reflections or thoughts before we head into the town hall, then feel free. Or otherwise, I can start up the town hall, and then we'll also have time for open discussion there. But I'll give a brief presentation to kick us off for the town hall whenever we're ready.
well, I have done now actually similar things before, and also some of more different style of that, I guess. Also, Jorge also introduced that in our context. Right now, what I was kind of missing is probably still like get confused about the level stuff. And why do we need consent on the level itself where there was like quorum and somewhat already reached? And how often, I'm just like wondering how often does it actually change if somebody gets like 20% of quorum, but then discussion takes it to that he gets the full consent to be the level 6. Yeah, like it, it's and
Well,
other than that, I think it's great because to me I like the fact that it has iterations. So because there is some kind of dashboard also that is getting built based on iteration of having these respects. And that's cool to see how people engage over time, in my opinion.
well, I've been thinking also about this dialogue and consent within the room that can change the rankings, as opposed to simply anyone voting for his preferred person for any level. I do believe that the first approach is better because that guarantees that from the room there was consensus for each of the levels. So there was from the room consensus for level 6, there was from the room consensus for level 5, and so on. And so that reduces the incentive for any individual participant to simply vote selfishly. For example, to say, okay, then in my room deserve a highest level of respect, but because he's competing against me or because whatever his project is competing with my project or for whatever personal reason, I decided to vote him lower. So it removes that individual selfish position. Also, as I've promoted in the Cardano ecosystem, I believe it's better that no person at any ranking stage ranks himself, but instead serves as a measuring instrument for the rankings of the others. So I believe this reduces noise and makes the whole experiment more objective. That's in regard to your question, Tevo.
Yep. Well said, Jorge. I see Tevo's given the thumbs up. Yeah, so that explains it quite well. Could add more, and there's more benefits we can go into, I suppose. But I think that probably covers it quite well. And maybe it'd be best if I just start the town hall now, so that we get it rolling. And then if we want to return to that, then we can. Although Tevo, if you want to respond to that, then feel free, and we could do so now, or we could do so after I give the introductory presentation.
Yeah, and I guess we go for that to the main room.
And good to see you, Sebastian. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, nice to see you as well.
Yeah, great to see you. Hope that life's going well. It's been, I don't know, maybe a year or probably longer, I guess,
Yeah,
since we last spoke.
yeah, a little bit more, yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, excellent. Thanks everybody for playing the Respect game, and go Eden Fractal. If anyone wants to say go Eden Fractal, then feel free. We'll also probably do it at the end too. But it's been a wonderful Respect game with y'all, and I hope y'all enjoyed it.